Okay, all good to go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Our warmest greetings to you. I hope that you're all doing really, really well. Your friendly neighborhood wizards. Here we are again, and we're just going to talk about some spiritual and magical topics. I hope that you find something of benefit in this. So,
Mm.
welcome.
Welcome, everyone. Yeah.
Okay. So, Philip, are we going to speak about cleansing items and objects today?
Yeah, I know. I think we could start with why we cleanse ourselves as well, cleanse the physical. Shall we? We'll do this sound bowl first because I'm getting better.
Sounds perfect.
I put my sound on. Can
Oh,
hear it.
perfect.
Can hear it a
It
little bit.
sounds, yes, that's amazing.
Mm.
Okay, so let's cleanse our space and then we'll say why we did it. Okay. Excellent.
Yeah.
So, cleansing. Well, it's necessary to be aware of the energies that are around us and their nature.
Mm.
And so, not all energies are conducive for health and for evolution. Some are more stagnant, they're heavier energies. And so, we need to be able to, first and foremost, keep our own light, keep our own vibration, and then, need be, to transmute energies that are not ours. Well, one might say there is no such thing as within and without, or above and below, but it requires a significant level of transcendence to operate from that area, from that way of understanding. As far as it goes with the human mind, we are many degrees of separation away from our true self, which is the beloved source of all things. So, for practical purposes, we're thinking of inside and outside. So we have to be aware of energies,
Hmm.
and we have to keep ourself clean, high vibrational.
I think if you had a maintenance once a week, whatever happens, just have that maintenance on yourself, like your car and like your home. We always neglect ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
that
other
is
thing,
true.
the other thing I was going to say is, if you ever have an argument, why? Ask yourself why. Cleanse it anyway, because you're in that sort of, as you were saying, an energy. Uh, if you do any DIY on the house, do a cleansing because you can shift some old energies by doing that. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah,
And if you feel
that's
off and depressed, do a cleanse. First thing. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. So it's important that we know our baseline.
Hmm.
What is our energy? Because without some sort of a reference point, how could we possibly identify what is ours and what is not ours? It becomes easy to get it confused, and a heavy intrusion. We may think that it is something from within that we are purging, while that's not exactly the case. So, shall we start with methods of cleansing the self?
Yeah. I
Okay.
think the first thing I've done, I've bought a water purifier, so I know the water that's going inside me is top notch, and I add a bit of Himalayan salt to it. Even though people think Himalayan salt is linked to the giants, I still think it's good minerals. So I add a bit of mineral salt, purify the water, so whatever I'm taking in, I know it's sound. I've also
That's
changed my oil to olive oil or even lard because it's
Yes.
better than the oil, the normal
Right.
oil. So
Right.
you got to look at every aspect of it, don't you? Really? Yeah.
So what we bring into the body,
Hmm.
that's very important. And well, life cannot exist without water. That's funny that you mention water. In the southeast of the United Kingdom, the water is extremely hard.
Hmm.
It's got so much contaminants in it. So I got a little water distiller, and what is left at the bottom of the distillation machine smells harsh chemical. It burns your sinuses and your eyes. It looks brown,
Ours
like
does. Yeah, ours does,
yeah.
bro. Looks bro. Hmm.
And so when you drink the pure stuff, it's almost like you're drinking something very alien.
I've got a bit there at the bottom.
Oh wow.
That's from the water purifier. That's at the bottom of it before it's purified. And
Oh.
the cup looks like it needs cleaning, but that is.
That,
I dropped it before, but there's a bit left. I wouldn't drink it.
mhm. And so the very least is too much of this is bad for the kidneys. Could, if you have the genetic background, could cause kidney stones.
Yeah.
But then there's all sorts of other stuff that goes into the water, again by necessity, to kill bacteria and
Mm.
waterborne disease. They have to. But at the last stage, if you have the luxury of further purifying the water, that would be good.
Mm.
Then comes the energy of the water. So I've added lots of crystals around the container where the purified water goes in,
Mm.
with
You,
the
you
intentions.
you can get holders with crystals at the bottom. They're quite wise. I used to have one, but disappeared like it does. Yeah, like they do.
So enhancing water,
Mm.
and also food.
Mm.
This is something that can be done, although this what I'm about to say might be controversial, but I'm just going to say it in the most respectful way. As human beings, we need to sustain ourselves by eating other life forms. This is the ecosystem. It's the cycle of life.
Mm.
And so even plants have a high level of consciousness and sentience. People neglect this. So going completely vegan, you're still consuming life.
Mm.
It may appear to you that it is a lesser form of life, but still it has its sentience. So gratitude towards the food,
Mm.
the organism that you are consuming for sustenance, the people who have farmed it and cultivated it, the driver that's got it to you, the store clerk that's basically sold it to you, and the people that have made everything possible. Gratitude towards all these beings that are giving you the gift of sustenance.
I was going to say, Amir, that I think I mentioned it before. The best thing you can do, just say you have a burger. You can open that burger before and you can bless it. And basically, it's taken the trauma out of all the animals that provided that. So you're healing. If they've got a soul, you're healing their soul. Yeah. And then
Beautiful.
you send that to source. And then you send love to it as well. You send love to all the creation of the animals. Yeah. Is that what you
You,
do?
you, you got
Yeah.
to stop reading my mind, man. This is good. uh,
To be honest, there's not many actually do that. I was given that a few years back, and I did it on some bacon. And I know people think pork is the worst meat of all, but it tastes good bacon. So I was blessing this bacon, and then I made some for my son. And you can bless it when it's cooked, by the way. You don't have to wait. You can either before or after. And I gave some to my son, and my son said, "Have we changed the bacon?" I says, "Why?" He says, "That's the best bacon he's ever had."
oh yeah, yeah,
So,
absolutely. And there are beautiful traditions in mainstream religions, like in Christianity, where
mm,
everybody says grace.
mm,
This is a
exactly.
powerful and effective practice. It shows gratitude for the gift of life. And then to this wonderful little ceremony, you're giving the intention of healing to the animal or the plant, healing
Hmm.
the trauma. And so what you eat then is cruelty free. Not only that, you have healed the consciousness of the soul that was in that body for a time. So not all souls go into human bodies. Every animal has a consciousness. So does every tree, every plant, every fish. This is awareness of the greater pattern of life, and so respect and gratitude towards food and water. This covers what we take in form of, let's say, a solid, liquid, gas, and energy. Then comes the matter of spirit.
Oh, we haven't finished. I've got some.
Please.
A good system is detoxing the body. And if you ever want to detox, you're basically detoxing the parasites out of your body. And allegedly, parasites, I can't even say what they cure because this will be taken down, but it's supposed to help prevent and remove a lot of illnesses and big illnesses, which I can't say on here. So we have got pounds of, in weight, pounds of parasites in our body, from our skin and around our brain, everywhere. And molds, we've got molds as well. So obviously lion's mane and moringa can get rid of the molds. The best way is to do fasting, say 4-day fasting, because then all the food's going out and the parasites are looking for something to, they're more agitated. They feed, don't they? And then you do the detox, and it can. I did a detox. I'll say. Have you ever heard of Pina Blanca?
No.
Pina Blanca. I wouldn't recommend doing this at home, and I'll tell you exactly what happened. Pina Blanca is an Amazon seed. You eat 13 seeds roasted. You actually have a ceremony with the plant beings and everything like that, and put them to your heart chakra and eat them. And you have 4 liters of purified water. And then you're violently ill for about 3 hours. A lot of stuff comes up, but some comes the other way as well. And I had red blood come up. I don't know what that was, from the guts, from the intestines. But the thing is, it takes about 8 hours. It's not nice because you're in a group of people and they're all throwing up in buckets. And you sometimes see the parasites, funny enough, and they're not worms, they're actually parasites that aren't like the worm sort of ones. And afterwards, you feel miles better because you've shifted all this stuff that shouldn't be on you, because they're excretion, their byproduct into you, and they're causing a lot of products. But you can have, I have borax regular. Now, you're not supposed to eat borax, but there's a video on YouTube, which I'll link up, shows you how to have it, and what that does, that alkalines your pH value. Yeah, so you get a high pH value, which if you got an high pH value, you got less likely to get the cancers. I put nicotine patches on as well because they are very good for you. If you read up on plant, so I'm telling you what I'm having. I'm not telling you for you to have it. I'm telling you to research it. Nicotine patches, because it hasn't got all the chemicals, it hasn't got the addictions on. Yeah, you can have the gum as well. What else do I do? I have Shilajit. I also have sea moss, lion's mane, moringa. I have all these regular, and basically it makes my body, it cleanses my body. And the moringa is supposed to get rid of a lot of the parasites. A lot of the herbs get rid of parasites, so you don't have to have dog deworm or anything like that. You can actually research it yourselves. So I am not advising you to have it. I'm advising you to research it. And this is for entertainment purposes only.
The moringa, this is a leaf, yes?
Yeah. You can have the old plant. You can have the old plant, yeah.
I found this on Amazon, actually. I've been having the moringa now for a few months. I've got better energy. I sleep better. I'm a lot calmer, and probably 15% better cognitive function. My brain is a little bit less fuzzy.
Your brain soon gets into the motion. You think better. But also, I noticed after 3 days, I started having more breath.
Wow.
It was quite amazing, actually.
It is. It is. So these the ones that you can get commonly. So a lot of the mushrooms, lion's mane, shiitake, these are they're very good.
Yeah,
I have not yet heard of any negative effects of these supplements. So these seem to be they
yeah,
seem to stand the test of time and also
yeah.
going through large number. Yes, yes, yes. A
Lion's
regular
mane,
capsule. Oh yeah.
still legit. So, I'm on tablets. Oh,
Well,
and
these are coming from nature and they seem to be very effective. Yeah.
lion's mane. Yeah,
Lion's mane, shiitake, and the moringa. I can say it has had a positive effect on me.
yeah.
So I wasn't aware that they're also cleansing the body.
Hmm.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Something also to add for the health of the digestive system, you would have probiotics. So we need healthy bacteria in the digestive system. You can get these through yogurt drinks, but also in pill form. They're live cultures, and if it comes in a pill, usually the coating doesn't dissolve in the stomach acid. It opens up in the digestive system. Now, this is amazing for remembering dreams. The dreaming body is connected to the intestinal system, namely the the small intestines. And again, through the sacral, that's where the dreaming body is connected to the physical vessel. Now, once you take the correct cultures and you have the good bacteria in the gut, your dreaming is so much more vivid. So far, everything that we've covered is focusing on what we eat, what we drink.
Can I give you an example of something
Yes,
worth doing?
please. Yes, please.
You get garlic bread made. Have a look at the ingredients. Yeah, half the time it's not even got butter in it. It's got seed oil and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Get the bread and get the garlic butter and make your own. It's cheaper and it's a lot more healthier. So things like that, you've got to study and look at chemicals because I don't try and not have processed food. I really don't because the body doesn't need it at the end of the day. And a lot of these chemicals, the body doesn't process it very well. Yeah.
And again, so if imagine the food is made in, let's say, you get chicken that is raised in Vietnam. And so then it is cooked and then frozen, and they ship it frozen to where you live, and it comes into a supermarket or a restaurant. These are high quality products. They've been made really, really well, but still they have to add preservatives. It's just to keep the food fresh. There's no way around it. There's so many human beings. You can't just have a chicken in your garden the way you used to. But then that's the other thing we have to be careful with. Pesticides and preservatives. They're used out of necessity to maximize yield and keep food viable so it doesn't go bad. But if possible, and one has the luxury, you try to have less of these in your intake. They're chemicals often.
In the 70s, they used to add borax to the cleansing of the plants, and that's good. That's excellent for you. And now they've changed it to
Some other formula. Yeah.
which is not as good. But borax used to be in the Americans' water instead of fluoride in the 70s. Yeah, so they changed, but is it for the better? I advise research everything yourself.
That's good advice. That's really good advice. So not taking anybody's word for anything, and doing independent research on what is good for the body, how different supplements work, and finding an optimized solution for your individual body, because our bodies are different. We don't all react the same to the same things. So I think here the key is awareness, being aware of what you ingest, and adding this process of purification, gratitude, and healing to it. I
Exactly.
think the healing part, Philip, is so effective. Even food that is not the very best quality, once you heal it and you give it that intention of uplifting, it tastes completely different. Like the example of the bacon that you mentioned. It's a
Yeah.
very, very real thing. You're changing something within the food from the time it hits your taste buds till going along when it's sitting in the stomach. Your body starts feeling good, not heavy. And then when you actually absorb the energy, it's clean energy. So there's something powerful about what we can do. We can alchemically transmute the food that we eat. So even if you're stuck in a situation where you have a poor diet, you can still be healthy. Such is the power of the human being.
Exactly.
Okay, wonderful. Solid, liquid, gas, and energy. So now let's talk about consciousness that comes into the body. This becomes tricky. We're living in an ocean of consciousness. So I think a good thing would be to keep your residence clean, your home, bedroom, living room. This would be.
I wish mine was. I never have time. I never have the time. I should do.
I know, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe routine maintenance would be good. So you have a certain day in the week where you do the vacuum cleaning and dusting. Make sure you don't have any unwashed clothes left behind, that everything looks nice and clean. You observe the feng shui, the flow of energy. You don't want anything blocking the path. Looking into this, so keeping your residence clean and beautiful.
I have noticed, like, I'm just fixing my car and it's finished. My washing machine's now broke. And I'm
Oh well,
thinking,
it needed your love and attention. That's okay. That's okay. Think
but
think, think of it as another client.
yeah, these are just to try and trigger you to anger and low density. So if you ever, like I said at the beginning, if you ever you need to do a cleanse when that happens, something like that, you need to cleanse the washing machine. I think a good way is to walk barefoot in nature, connect with nature more. Yeah, definitely. Hug a
That is
tree.
fantastic.
Hug a tree.
Hug a tree. Yes, that does a wonderful job.
Tell the tree, can you fix washing machines?
It may not respond favorably. It will give you the branch.
True. That was quick. Give you that one.
So natural maintenance of the house. So we started with the wonderful vessels. Then now we're extending the same philosophy to the place of our residence. Don't neglect if you're traveling and you're staying in a hotel or a room that is not yours, you have to cleanse. There's God knows what's gone down in that location before you stepped in. It would be wise to do the same.
Yeah.
So,
Or if you're on a journey, do it when you arrive to your destination. It's not worth doing it while you're on the journey. You just go and
right,
collect more and more and more and more. But it might be worth doing a bit of grounding, I think. Yeah, definitely grounding. Yeah.
correct. So, certain places you can't burn smudge or Palo Santo. You'll set off the fire alarm and then you got to pay a fine.
You could do
Especially if this,
what about incense? There you go.
you can get them in liquid form, in spray
Yeah,
form.
yeah.
The same essence of the plant, no smoke.
Mm,
It's worth mentioning that the smoke, if you've got some sort of a air quality measurement, the smoke does give solid particles, so it does reduce the quality of the air.
mm,
This is also true with candles. So if you're using them, make sure you have a healthy flow of fresh air coming in. So you're not sitting in the smoke and breathing it for hours and hours. So the liquid form, it has that benefit. You're not inhaling and taking in potentially harmful substances. And then comes that which is not physical. We interact with each other. We're living in an ocean of consciousness, and this is not necessarily clean.
Can I just stop you there? I'm
Yes,
annoying,
please.
aren't I? Before we go on, we could have salt baths or borax baths to do a full cleanse, or even have a sauna and use oils. So there's all these areas. So if you really feel density, have a salt bath or Himalayan salts or Himalayan things give off smoke, which is pretty good. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for that. I completely forgot about the bathing. Spiritual bath, does it have to be a bath? No, it's the intention. Many places are smaller, so you may have just a stand-in shower.
Which is like a waterfall, isn't it?
Yes,
Think about it. Yeah.
So you start with the head, then one side of the body, and then the other, and you turn it into a little ritual. It's not just washing the skin and exfoliating. It's also with the intention of removing anything that's around the boundaries of your aura and still hasn't made it in. Because it's not instant. They can't just come in.
So I've heard that some people do cleansing with eggs, rubbing eggs in. That just sounds weird to me, but you never know. It's another idea. Yeah.
Well, I suppose you shouldn't leave the egg on. All the cats and dogs will be following you around.
I think it's full eggs. I think it's full eggs, but I'm not 100%. I'd have to study that one.
So it's not like you crack an egg on your head and go, yeah, no, that's not it. Well, I've heard people using egg yolk for conditioning their hair in some cultures, adding some other plant substances to it. I've never tried it, but I've heard that it is a useful thing. So the egg is an emulsifier. It mixes stuff nicely. So if you've got a herbal concoction with oils and whatnot to soften the skin and condition the hair, that could be used. But as far as I know, you don't leave it in.
No. Another one that we've forgotten is a dump in a very cold water, or even a well, a sacred well like St. Sybil's well. But last time I went there, I think I got rat poisoning when I drank the water. But actually, make sure the water's flowing. So I had all spots on me, but I got rid of it, like I got rid of my burns. But it taught me a lesson.
You get into some adventures, huh?
I'm willing to go in with the deep, but I sometimes miss my brain don't think very well.
But you miss it by tiny bit. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I think it was in Northern Europe. I'm not sure if it's Norway or Iceland. So Northern Europe, when they were actually trying to find out a way to put people under pressure for interrogation. So they put them in a sauna and then threw them in a bath of ice water. And the guy would come out saying, oh, that feels amazing.
Full healing, that is, isn't it?
And so a sauna followed by you just jump into a pool of ice water. Some places do this for therapy.
Then a massage with oils.
There we go. Now we're talking. Yes. Oh, of course, massages. Oh, we're just opening up more avenues. So we think we're done, but no, the body needs so much love and care. The muscles and the fasciae that connect the muscles together, they sometimes get locked, and the body can store stress or energy of trauma inside. So body work, this is incredibly valuable and beneficial.
If the masseur is an healer as well, that's a bonus all the way.
Then you're onto something. So correct myofascial release, also known as structural integration, a proper massage, and also craniosacral therapy. using very light touch on certain locations on the head, it unlocks stress. So your body is like giving the cheat codes to the body, and suddenly you see, oh, boom, your shoulders open up, or boom, your entire spine goes bop, 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 and releases tension. So these are very useful, very powerful.
I think it's like prevention, aren't we? We're preventing illness by doing this. And is it in India? Have I said this right? Is it Ayurvedic?
Yes, 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 yes,
And
yes.
that's been going for thousands of years, and it's exactly what we're talking about. It's the well-being of the person, and all these is to get. So you're doing these before. Yeah, it's like spiritual hygiene, isn't it? At the end of the day, but we haven't gone on to spirituality yet. So.
Yes, not yet. Well, there's
That's
so
next.
much wonder with the body. So of course we'll focus on it as much as we can.
Yeah,
Yes, health of the muscles and skeleton. So some sort of movement, and let's not neglect the importance of exercise for the health of the skeletal system and all the muscles, for the health of the cardiovascular system, also your metabolism, the flow of blood and oxygen. This needs to be kept at an optimal state.
yeah,
So we don't want to go too hardcore, but sufficiently intense exercise. It doesn't even have to be running. Walking at a fast pace, so fast that it's kind of going to turn into running, but not quite yet. So power walking. This seems to be good for all ages. So running also, you're impacting the body through basically pounding the pavement as you run. That could be less acceptable for those that already have injuries, or if you're not already in perfect physical condition. But walking we can all do. So pushing fast and getting the blood pumping, that seems to be really good. It's at lower heartbeats where you burn calories.
yeah.
If you start going too
Once
fast,
you
then you're not.
once you do that, then you have the sauna, the water, and the massage, and then you got A1.
That's beautiful. So doing this once a week, if you can't once a month, if you can't once a year, but do it. Please, please do it. It's really, really good. We've got such busy life schedules, all of us. Seems like we're little hamsters running on the wheel.
The one thing when we get into spirituality, well, if you've got a trauma, what you should realize is every cell in your body has probably got that trauma.
Yeah.
So should we go on to that? Because that's like sound healing to vibrate this cell into gear, into its separation. Yeah.
I think so. I think so. So I think we've covered everything with the physical body. Bathing, body work, food, exercise, sleep.
What walking on fire coals. I wouldn't recommend that at home. Do it on an event. I've done that, and it doesn't burn because it's mind over matter. But it's also it is a cleanse in itself. It's a spiritual. It's between the spiritual and the physical, and it's crossing that boundary. Yeah.
That's a very, very old one, cleansing through fire. But yes, it's good to train with somebody who can teach you the correct way. Otherwise, you'll end up burning the soles of your feet. You have to be in the correct zone.
It's got a name. I think it's like a spark. It's got a name when you get a slight burn. You can still get a burn, but it's the reason why you got that burn. There's always a reason. It is a cleanse, and it's an healing modality in a way. Yeah.
Okay, so moving to the spiritual part of cleanliness. Well, the same way that if you're driving your car through the mud and doing donuts and whatnot, the car is going to basically get dirty. The same is true with our vessel. This is the vehicle for the consciousness. And so we're going about our day and certain environments are not quite clean, especially public places. They may look all pristine and beautiful and shiny, but this isn't true for the energy of the space. People may come in and drag mud in with them, all sorts of parasites and entities and energies. And then we have to look at where the location is. There may be damaged ley lines underneath the building, or there may be open portals all around. So we just have to keep in mind that these are very real and that they do affect us. So what do we do when we get back home? Same way that we take care of the physical part of the body, we have to do this with our energy. And also, whenever we come into contact with other people, a great way of looking at it is like the cold, the common cold. Somebody sneezes, guess what? You're exposed. You shake somebody's hand, you're exposed. You touch the rail, you're exposed. So picking up energetic, let's say, parasites, this is just as easy. There's no way around it. Some of them are significantly more sinister than the common cold. So we may pick up sentient life forms, AI, that they target the crown, and then without you knowing, you're having heavy thoughts. Everything is good, and then suddenly you're getting a burst of anger or fear, jealousy, depression, whatnot. They look for patterns that are already in the brain, and then they start using them. So a good thing is to know your baseline. Who are you? What is your energy? Nature is wonderful for this. So when you're in a tip-top shape, you're clean, and you know nothing is affecting you in a negative way, then you go into nature and observe yourself. What's going through your mind? What emotions are you feeling? How does the body feel?
The other thing is how people reacting to you, because they might have got infected as well.
Correct. Correct. And so knowledge, or let's put it in a more specific way, awareness. This is key. Once you become aware that something is not the way it should be, then you can start dealing with it. So smudging, of course, using Palo Santo or sage or incense or candles, with the condition that you have an airflow, so it cleans out the harmful substances from the smoke, or using it in a spray form or liquid form, or using essential oils. You can use them for the same effect. You just smudge a little bit on your hands, on your head, all the chakra system, base of the spine, and so on. The feet, don't neglect the feet.
The Himalayan salt lamps in your house are pretty good. They do a lot of good cleansing, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially when light is shining through them.
Yeah.
They work beautifully.
Also, house plants. If they work for you, they'll work for you. They'll clear. Yeah.
Beautiful. I haven't used that one myself, I must admit. I can't keep them in good condition indoors, but outdoors in the wild, oh yes, they like my presence. They start thriving. Indoors, I think I've got something about imprisonment. I don't like to imprison the plants, poor plants. They need to be out and about. But if it's something from a different climate and you have to take care of it, well, that kind of does make sense.
Yeah. The other thing, the biggest one, is the frequency videos that we have, sound healing, that sort of thing, is always worth doing. Also salt around the house, if you want to go that deep. I don't want to go that deep. And obviously the big one. What's the big one?
Well, it's a ritual consciousness. You can basically deal with it with
crystals.
your voice.
Crystals.
Oh yeah. Oh, of course, crystals. So focusing a little bit more on sound. If you have wind chimes in the house or near the house in the garden, they do this job. They keep the entire property clean. The singing bowls that we use, really effective. If you have a rattle, I use these a lot in my healing work.
Yeah.
So the sound is carrying and amplifying your intention of cleansing. These are very effective.
Yeah, you
Um,
mentioned the verbal, but mantras, doing open
Mantras, yes.
mantras would
So
be
the
good.
use of sound with intention,
Yeah,
and this is
Sanskrit,
so effective.
light
And then
language. Yeah.
oh yes, yes, yes. And then our buddies, the crystals.
Mm.
So these do a wonderful job when you give them the mission. So, like Philip, you mentioned, if they work for you, they work for you. On the topic of plants, but I think the crystals are the same.
Yeah.
There needs to be an agreement, a friendship established, and then they will do this wonderful job to help you keep you clean. And then, of course, we're required to cleanse the crystals also,
Mm.
because they can get dirty and overloaded.
You can do that with sun and moon light, I suppose. Or you could do it with water, purified water. Yeah. And you can heal water with the crystals. They can mix match, can't they? You can use the
Yes, yes.
opposite way.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. It's not a numbers game. It's like once a certain energy is present, it just fills the entire space on its own.
The good thing is to create your house as a sacred space. So you could even have an altar with your crystals there and all your tools and everything. And you can do the chanting, light language. You can even do prayer. It's sort of up to you what you want to do. Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. So, coming back to your place of residence, so keeping it physically clean and beautiful, you would do the same in spiritual terms. You would put up boundaries using the crystals.
Mm.
So you create grids outside the property, outer walls, right inside at the four corners. Then the room you are in, the bedroom, especially when you're resting, then around the bed. So you put many, many levels of protection around you, and all of them you just give the crystal the intention. I think we mentioned this in a previous program. You give
Yeah.
each one of these little guys the intention and the prayer and the energy to do this task for you, and then you maintain them. So you would wash them, you would smudge them, you would anoint them if they are not water-phobic or if they don't react badly to oils, and you would recharge them, making your bond of friendship and alliance stronger. So crystals are wonderful. What else? What else?
I've got a new one, which I don't know if I've mentioned it, but obviously you'd have to do a lotus position and meditation. And what you're doing is you're manifesting the violet flame from Saint Germain into a flower format, into the structure of a building. And as you're opening it up, you can do sacred geometry at the beginning and use this manifestation. The roots go into the structure of the building, and anything gets transmuted. There you go.
That's
Quite
beautiful.
quite a clever one, that one.
Yeah. So perhaps then you would add the intention that once it's entangled with your defenses, it will have two choices: to evolve, or it gets cleansed and rebalanced so it can evolve.
So
So there's the
you're giving it a chance.
well, easy way or hard way.
Yeah.
That's the chance. What's going to happen is going to be the same. It's either they go willingly or not.
I have noticed the last few years that yourself and other people have taught me a lesson. They need a second chance. They need
Yes, yes, yes,
yeah.
yes.
Where in the past I never really gave them that thought, and also when I used to attack very dark beings, I used to send the conscious. I now send the conscious to source. I'm going to digress in here. Where before I used to just get rid of it, and then it probably got reborn somewhere. Yeah. So
Well, you know,
yeah.
it's not often that something can be resolved permanently coming across a healer or a magician. It's worthwhile we do a complete job.
Yeah.
So we leave a clean path behind us. And so, yeah, dealing with it once and for all. This has amazing beneficial effects. So imagine, Philip, you're dealing with a wonderful client, and you notice that there's an entire species. One of the members are messing with the person, causing harm, violating their sovereignty, and violating universal law. Because of the contract of healing, you have the authority to deal with the entire collective that is causing harm.
Mm.
So after one healing session, because the client has taken responsibility for healing themselves, that opens doors
Mm.
of morality ethically, and you have the spiritual authority to do so. You
Exactly.
deal with the entire collective.
Mm.
Suddenly, millions of people are relieved from the hardship caused by these entities and beings.
Yeah.
So going large scale, of course, you would give them the chance to choose and do it the easy way,
Mm.
or not, the hard way.
Another important thing I think we should all do on a daily basis is breath work. Breath work is yeah, breath work's a must in my book. I do breath work when I'm doing healing, I'm doing all sorts of things. And another one is shadow work, which we haven't talked about. And shadow work is getting rid of shadow. You've got a shadow inside that sometimes likes to do its own thing. You can't get rid of it. It's always there. It's like you, part of you, and you've got to like embrace it. But also, shadow work, it can be healing, karmic problems from past lives. It's all spiritual hygiene, and we can do it while we're on Earth, which is a low density field. We've got a better chance of doing it, in my book. Yeah,
I agree.
yeah,
Many of these are, you have to be in a physical body to deal with it.
yeah, yeah.
It's occurred in the physical domain, and so it absolutely has to be resolved in the physical domain.
Mm,
So shadows, these are, let's say, events or traumas that at the time they're just too big. You just can't deal with it.
mm,
And so you put it in a little bubble and you suppress it deep down within.
mm.
It
So,
doesn't go away, it just lays
yeah, some
dormant.
some of the traumas might have fractured your soul a little bit, and you need to do a timeline shift and heal that timeline basically, and bring it back with an hug and a love.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, soul shard retrieval, absolutely.
yeah,
So this can be done by a shaman, but it can be done by the individual. So we don't all have to get formal shamanic training.
mm,
It's so the way one would approach this. First law: don't be afraid of pain.
mm,
That fear is keeping you stuck. So you would give that trauma, once you are at a sufficient level of strength, you'd give it the chance to come to the surface, and you shine light upon it. You
mm,
honor its existence, and you hear it out, or in many cases, you feel what it is once again. And then, coming from a place of freedom from emotion and judgment, then you resolve it. So you're able to see it in a different way. And once you make peace with it, you've felt it for the last time, you bless it and release it, or you
yeah,
transmute it and integrate it.
mm,
So it's never going to be pain-free and easy. It's that now, finally, you're at a place where you can deal with this. It's no longer going to overload you or overwhelm you. You allow it to come, you hear, you feel, and you give it space to express itself. Then you logically and lovingly, compassionately deal with it, and then you transmute it or you release it.
What I do, like when you have had childhood trauma, I go into the timeline and meet that younger being of themselves, and I give them an hug, and I pretend to be their invisible friend. I'm always there for loving. That's all they need, a bit of loving, and that normally does the job. And then what you've got to do as you're coming back in the timeline, visit them every 6 months. So
Oh,
actually visit them every 6 months so they think you're the invisible
beautiful,
friend. You're the invisible
beautiful.
friend. Yeah,
Oh, that's so beautiful.
yeah,
Thank you so much for that, Philip. I hadn't considered it.
yeah.
That consists. That's so beautiful. Oh my
Mm.
God. Yeah.
So
So
you're their invisible friend, and they might even remember after the
oh
healing.
wow.
Oh, I had an invisible friend. Yeah, that was me, but I'm not telling you.
Oh my God, that's so beautiful. Thank you so
Mm.
much for that. I'm very
You're
grateful.
welcome.
I
You're
just
welcome.
learned something very profound from you, my wonderful friend and
Mm.
esteemed teacher. Thank you.
We teach each other.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful.
Someone last week said, and this is why this event happened. How do you cleanse crystals? So here's a crystal. So what purified water, sun, moon. Anything else? You could do sound healing on it, I suppose.
Yes, yes,
Sound
yes.
healing. Salt,
Um,
bit of salt on it, maybe. No, I think.
with so some crystals are water phobic, so
Yeah.
water dissolves them and may damage them. So
Mm,
knowing what crystal it is, if it's not sensitive to water, having running water over it absolutely helps.
mm.
Then the smudge, then the sound.
Oracle cards. Put the crystal on.
Oh, well, the crystal will clean the cards, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But then we're back to the cleaning the crystal. Sun, the sunlight, the full moon,
Ring,
saging, sound.
yeah, ringing a bell.
Also, if you have healing energy, you hold it and you breathe on it,
Mm.
encapsulate it in your hands, and give it Reiki or give
Ah.
it healing energy. It cleans them wonderfully. They love it. They absolutely they start singing and vibrating in your hand. So energy work is very good. And
Yeah. Cleansing the cards. Wrap it on a table while doing light language. There you go. So,
beautiful,
but you can
beautiful.
do most of these with your wands and instruments. Even your sound healing bowl might need a bit of
That
cleansing
is that is that
sometimes.
is that is correct. That is accurate. You know, we just got to be aware. Awareness is so powerful.
Mm,
Whether it's the physical body or something that is of a spiritual nature, awareness is the key. Once you know something's going down, then you can start making correct decisions and fix it. The
yeah.
worst thing is when people have absolutely no idea that something is wrong. The non-desirable effects are still going on and they haven't a clue. And so they may get warning signs from their body or their higher aspects telling them, hey, something's not quite right. And then they still ignore it. And
Mm,
weeks, months, and years pass, and finally it turns into something that is more serious. And then they wonder, where did this just come out from? This is never true.
mm.
Nothing just happens. There's usually a long sequence of cause and effect. And if you cut that chain early on, you're going to be free from the more serious, sometimes irreversible damage.
Yeah.
And this is another thing. Now, taking advantage of modern medicine.
I was just going to say tarot cards. Black crystals are good for cleansing. Tarot cards
So,
like obsidian. Is it obsidian? If I said
obsidian,
it right.
yes.
Yeah.
So I use
And
obsidian to pull out energy from the clients. And then, of course, selenite.
yeah.
Let's see if I can get this to
I was going to say tourmaline as well. I think so. Yeah.
black tourmaline, magnetic hematite, obsidian, shungite, the black crystals. They're very
Yeah.
absorbent and protective.
Yeah.
The selenite usually doesn't need very frequent cleansing. It's kind of translucent, so you may be able to
Is
see
that the one
through it a little
is that the
bit.
one you don't put water in and it chips off if you do? That
Correct.
could be. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. This one melts away.
Yeah.
So it's not very good for bracelets or pendants. Even the body's natural humidity, sweating, it just, you see, oh my God, it's all gone. In a
Mm,
week, the whole thing dissolves. But they're really good for that kind of work. Also, you can use crystal, a master quartz.
mm,
You can give quartz the same property as selenite, program it to do that, and quartz is water friendly.
mm. Yep. That's
And so, and I would like to now go to the elephant in the room, which is the modern medicine. And let's be fair, let's be impartial, let's be honest. Modern medicine has almost doubled the lifespan of the collective. From life expectancies around 35 to 40, now we live 75, 80. Some nations, the nation of Japan, they live significantly longer.
I think modern medicine, most of it, is old medicine, and they've just put it in a box. So I'm not a fan of
So,
ones that just keep you alive but don't cure you. I'd rather have the cure ones that cure you, to be honest.
it does have its place.
Mm.
Certain life-saving surgeries, where there's something gone really badly wrong with, let's say, one of the organs, and you need some intervention, and it does give you another 20 years of life. I think that's good. You can do so much in 20 years.
Do you know what I was doing last Tuesday? I brought in an Andromedan surgeon to do work on someone's knee,
Oh,
and
wow.
he pulled the knee and he added cartilage to it. But they were working through me. So
Beautiful.
yeah.
Beautiful.
The other thing is you can actually channel in the energies of each all these medicines. See, they're not having the medicine, but they're having the energy of that medicine, which is even a bonus if you think about it. Like a
Homeopathic. Oh,
paracetamol.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes.
Mm.
Channeling in experts. That is, you just started a whole process of deja vu when this is streaming in. So, could you kindly share how you got in touch with the Andromedan specialist?
Right.
How did you initiate?
Initially, they used to send energy to me, and one day
Mhm,
you're doing energy healing on someone that doesn't really need it, and I was a bit bored. And I thought, let's follow the energy. So I actually spiritually followed the energy to Andromeda, met the met the queen there who had a staff, glowing white light, which was amazing, and they told me that they had surgeons that could help. So some years
beautiful.
back, I broke my ankle, and I
Mhm.
asked another healer, could a Andromeda surgeon work through her? And she actually said yes. So she said she saw the being coming in from hands, going into the bones, into the thing, and fixing the bones.
Yeah,
Uh, you've got to really look outside the box when this happens. But you are the vessel, and they are. Is this your friend? We're going to have to finish in a minute. Uh,
I'm not quite sure. This is unscheduled. Probably somebody trying the link. So don't worry about it. It's all good.
right. So you're the vessel, and they're basically you're still in your body, but they're coming into your body as well, and that you're just watching what they're actually doing. They do this. They do like energy work, but they're actually going into the actual being and fixing it a bit. So I think anyone can do it, but you got to connect, and you got to connect to your star seed family. It's took me years. It's
Beautiful.
took me years. It's took me years. So
Wow.
it's
Wow. Wow.
I
Wow.
like doing it. I like watching. So yeah. Sometimes I can actually do the same work they do, but sometimes they're a bit better than me, a bit, if you get what I mean. So I have actually done surgical work on people spiritually. I've fixed broken bones before now, healed broken bones, melted the bones and healed them. I always thought that was possible by everyone. I used to do this as a young age. I first broke my arm when I was 20 and I fixed it before. They had 6 x-rays because they thought it was broken and they wondered, they were finding it, looking for it, and they said it's not broken, but we're amazed. So, yeah, so, yeah,
Beautiful.
there you go.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
You got to
Um,
think outside the box. So,
can we pause our recording for one moment
w-
kindly?
yeah, 1 second. Well, unless we're going back into it, because someone said
Yes, yes,
I can do
yes.
this quick.
We'll go
Someone
back to
said,
that.
how much grounding or how much tree hugging do you need? And all I'll say is, it's just like having a cup of tea or a meal. When you're full, you've had enough. It's
Yeah.
easy enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one moment of pause kindly. Let's see who this is. So sorry, Philip. Hello,
Well,
hello, Mary.
hello, Phil Barrow.
You're 1 hour early.
Oh, I am? Oh, good. I'll go back to bed.
I'll see you in
I'm
a
a
little
little
bit then,
under the
okay?
weather, but look at this.
Oh, your mala. That's beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful,
well, my other
beautiful.
one fell apart. I'm sorry. Well, let me exit. I'll come back in an hour.
Okay, I'll see you in a
Nice
little
to
bit.
see you.
Oh, I love
Bye.
watching. I
Bye.
love watching you two wizards.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Take care. I'll
Okay,
see
when
you
you
in a
say
bit.
things,
Yeah.
when you see, because I can, I am Marianne. That's me.
Yeah, you might be on the show actually. I'm not sure because it says recording.
No.
So.
Oh, dear.
No, wait a minute. Okay, I'm out of here.
Hey,
Bye.
bless you. Take care.
I'm leaving.
Bye.
Sorry about that. So let's resume.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. We just had a wonderful, what should we call it? A walk-in. Yes, that would be appropriate. Yes, we had a walk-in. That was very welcome. A little distraction. And my apologies.
Well, I think things like that you got to laugh at it. It's funny. Yeah, it's funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. So sorry, but yes, walk-ins are welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, I was saying the person. I'll actually read what she says. I think.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I've read 2. If I've missed you, sorry. Can you touch on the programming and clearing of crystals as well as tools, instruments on your next episode? I think we've covered that one. Has that all been covered? Yeah. Question.
So, one more thing, salt. So putting a crystal in basically high concentrated salt water. This will cleanse everything. But you don't want to overdo it, especially if the crystal has ancient knowledge. If it has some sort of information or technology stored in it, you don't want to wipe it all clean. Then you're with an empty hard drive, so to speak, and it won't work. But the surface level, that salt water or salt, that will do a lovely job.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I'll go back. I don't actually use salt, but there you go. Question: when I'm outside grounding, either barefoot or hugging a tree, how long does it take? And I think I did answer that. It takes as long as you feel it's okay. How long does it take to eat a burger? Same thing, isn't it? When you're full, when you feel energetic, then you've had enough. Yeah.
Beautifully put. I cannot add anything to that. Wonderful. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Excellent.
How long does it take to eat a burger, huh? Oh, that's great. That's really great. Oh, well. So, Philip, what should we call this one?
I think this one's a pretty good one actually, and it's got three different subjects. So it is cleansing the physical, spiritual, and tools. Okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It's a good one actually. Yeah. Enjoyed that one. So we'll be closing with our normal.
Yes, sir.
Change the bowl. People might wonder why I use a different bowl. I like this for closing, and I like the other one for starting because the other one's got 8 metals. I prefer that one.
Well, just because you're awesome, okay? That's why.
You're awesome as well. Right.
Okay, shall we begin?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Do you know, Amir? I was going faster on that one than I did yesterday. I don't know what it is. I think it's just the program. You just go with the flow, and it can be different every time. It's weird.
Yeah. It does react to the energy around it. If you can use it as a diagnostic tool, depending on how the sound is coming out. Of course, it's all been generated through you, but it's a nice way of getting a diagnostic of what's going on. I use this at the beginning of my work every time. It's a very, very effective way to just kind of tune in without going into the person's energy.
Do you do dragon's breath or just breath work when you're doing that?
Yes,
Dragon's
yes,
breath.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's what I do.
I'm still thinking about channeling the Andromedan specialist. That's wonderful. I'm going to be noodling on that one. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah, of course, the other one. Yes, doing the child healing, but then popping in and visiting again periodically until they're big. That was wonderful. Oh my God. So I learned so much this time. This was amazing.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay, so same time next week.
And I'm not sure what it is. We did 3 tonight, 3 different ones. So, yeah.
I will think of something. There's so much going on. There's never going to be a shortage of topics. So,
no.
Wonderful audience, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your time. We love you. Take care.
See you next week. Bye.